How we've let this slip until Friday is really an outrage. Really, a momentous occasion like this is not something any man would neglect. But of course, it's usually the girls that are sitting here, so we'll let that go. Certainly, we don't want to minimize this girl who's sitting right here with us today. She's really why it's happening in the first place. Did you know this is Albuquerque's first annual Beer Week? That's right, Beer Week. It wraps up on Sunday and it's almost gone. Welcome this morning to Marne Gaston.
Hi.
I didn't say Barney, by the way. Thank you. I didn't say Marne. She's actually the owner of Feel Good Festivals, co-creator of Albuquerque Beer Week, and the producer of the ABQ Blues and Brew event coming up this weekend. Welcome so much. My goodness, what don't you do? You're doing so much. So now tell me about Beer Week. This is your brainchild?
Yes, I worked with the Albuquerque Beer geek, so to speak. He writes a blog here in town, and we created a week-long festival celebrating craft beers and the places that we enjoy them here in Albuquerque.
Right, and so what have you been experiencing so far in Beer Week?
Well, we've had about 20 different venues hosting events so far. We had 5 last night. So we've had beer dinners, beer and cheese pairing at Marble. We have special tappings for La Cumbre Brewing had a couple really expensive heavy beers.
Right, and so Beer Week is a wonderful event. We try to get... Now, what could one experience? Like, let's say I've never been to Beer Week. What can I experience when I go there?
Well, if you haven't ever been to Beer Week, you're not alone because it's our first one. But
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, there's lots of things going on that if you want to try something new, but you don't really want to make the commitment,
right.
There is a lot of tastings going around. So tonight at Sunflower Market, at Two Fools Tavern, and Imbibe, you can go and sample some beers, and it's free, and you don't have to buy a big case of it until you know that you like it.
Gotcha. Now tell me about Blues and Brew, exactly how that culmination existed, or how did that come to be?
Well, Blues and Brews kind of go together, and not only because it sounds good, but because, people like blues music, it's good, chilling, kind of drinking music, and we have 33 breweries coming out tomorrow, and again, you get a sample glass, and you go around, you get to go to each of the breweries and try the beer. And again, it's a no commitment thing. If you don't like it, there's a bucket, pour it out, move on to the next one. There's so many different styles of beer out there, so there's a lot of people that think of beer as one kind of package deal.
Exactly, yes.
There's a range.
So actually, this is a good opportunity to actually, if you've ever wanted to try a whole bunch of beers, because there's a ton to try, this would be a good opportunity to go out there and just try it, and maybe you'll find one that you'll really, really like. Yeah,
and that's, I've told people all the time, if you don't like beer, maybe you just haven't tried enough of them.
There you go, nice. That's a good idea. Now, tell us about actually this event. Has there been other events before?
Yeah, we are really starting to boom here in Albuquerque with events. So in the fall there were actually 3 beer festivals, and there's Marble September Fest, and then there's the Brew Fest at the fairgrounds, and the O'Neill's Pub hosted the biggest beer festival in New Mexico, which is Hop Fest, which had 39 breweries and 5 local bands.
Very nice. So how is Beer Fest doing in Albuquerque? How is it rating? You said, is it growing pretty much? Is it getting more popular?
Yeah, craft beers are growing in general, and so people are getting really interested in what's out there, and they want to come out and enjoy usually some really good music, some good weather, things like that, be around friends and try some new things. So the Beer Festival is a really great place to do that. The Marble September Fest gets all the local breweries together and hosts in the parking lot there, so you can try things from Farmington without having to drive to Farmington, things like that.
That's wonderful. Now, and what's coming up? Any new events coming up?
We are actually starting a wine and beer festival this summer. It's called Cork and Tap. So therefore, if I really can't get you to drink beer, maybe I can get you into some of these local wineries we're going to have out there. We'll do some sampling, we'll have some local music, but it's within Summerfest. So it's an event within an event, so it'll be really fun for everybody.
Tag along, that's perfect to tag along. Now, really quick, how did you get into doing these things? How did you get into that? Because a lot of men right now are probably calling you a saint today, so how did you get into that?
Well, I've always loved beer, and I loved events, and I've done a lot of work with nonprofits. It just kind of all came together, and once you start doing beer events, there's really, what else do you want to do?
Right, exactly. Nice one. Nicely said. Now let's give our viewers some more information. Albuquerque Blues and Brews, Saturday and April 16th at the Sandia Resort and Casino, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. The website is www.abqbluesandbrews.com. Marne, thank you so much for coming. We appreciate everything that you have for us. So thank you. And please celebrate Beer Week. Go out there. Up next, we're heading into the kitchen with the brewmaster from Marble Brewing. Bottoms up.